Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anna520, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode, we cooked some food and gave it to the old man, who gave us a warm doublet, which will let us go into colder territories. We also climbed up here and completed this shrine to gain access to the stasis rune, and I believe we may have also done the bomb room shrine. But in this episode, we're going to try climbing up here, where I think it's going to get very, very cold. This is not technically the way we're supposed to get to this shrine, but we can do it anyway. Also, secret hammer! Iron sledgehammer. This large iron sledgehammer was originally used for mining, but it works reasonably well as a weapon, too. Cool. So now we have a mining tool. If we ever find any mining deposits. So we're going to climb up here. I think it's going to get cold here in a second. Yep, there it is. If the temperature gets too low, Link will start shivering, and you will take periodic damage. But if we put on our warm doublet, now we can survive in the cold. We can climb up here and walk around in this icy area. There's snow here. There's boulders here. Let me just push this one because I feel like it. Let that roll down there. I think if I come up here, there's a boulder here, a couple boulders here, and if I throw this down, ta-da! Oh, they're all dead. Got an extra Boko club, and there's a wooden chest here. Friendly reminder, wooden chests burn. So if you're not careful, you can cause them to burn away and potentially burn whatever's inside as well. In this case, arrows. Depends on if the contents are flammable, though. Anyhow, let's head up to this shrine. So we took a shortcut. I don't want to use this. Let's use this instead. Is that a blue? That is a blue bokoblin. No, you don't. Give me that. Give me that too. Spiked Boko shield. A Boko shield made of slightly stronger wood and reinforced with animal bones. I want it. Give me this. I want to drop... Do I really have to go into my inventory and drop it? Huh. Well, anyway. There's another chest over here that we can open. Amber! Cool. Alrighty, so let's go up here. Shrine should be nearby. It's down the hill slightly from this spot up here. I'm pretty sure there's at least one Korok over there. We'll have to see. Climb all the way up here. Why did I climb up here? This is not where I want to be. I want to be up there. These trees have no leaves. Oh, there's another mushroom. Another new one. Silent Shroom, a strange mushroom that glows softly in the forest at night. Cooking it into a dish unlocks the nutrients in its cap, resulting in a meal that will allow you to move stealthily. So another stealth meal ingredient. Like the lightning bug. So if we come up here, I'm all the way around this spiral peak. All the way up. Ah, I enjoy gazing out at the world from here. A breathtaking view. This may be the best place to get a full view of the entire plateau. Use your scope to look for shrines. When you locate one, place a pin on your map as a marker. What is this? Oh, there's some flint under there. Huh. Well, more about that place later. For now, though, we just need to get down to that shrine. So, an important note. You'll see there's a river flowing here, and there's a pond over there at the shrine. Let go. Water in cold regions has a tendency to be freezing. And freezing water cannot be swam in without some serious repercussions. It will drain your health fast. So, it is, like, even with protection. It has a special status ailment called freezing. So that's something to keep in mind. You may want to avoid the water if you do come into a cold region. Anyhow, how are we going to deal with this? There's bozos there. There's a bozo here. More keys. The keys don't get a upgrade. Is there no EX chest at that other shrine? That's interesting. Maybe it's hidden down below. Anyway, here's this one. What's in here? Bomb arrows. Cool. Alright, up we go. I want to avoid the bokoblins, so we're going to take the back way here. Slowly climb up this cliff to that shrine. K. Nummet Shrine. K. Namut Shrine. In we go. No stone unturned. The Cryonis Trial. This is going to be our final rune. Well, final in quotation marks. Final required rune, I should say. This will give us Cryonis. Create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Builds ice pillars that are very stable. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use Cryonis on an ice pillar to break it. There we go. So, with this rune, we can create pillars of ice out of the water. There we go. And we can climb on them. And we can make up to 3 at a time. Use them to lift things like that. No, you don't. Get out of here. Little leg dude. There we go. So you can see our pillar is still going to be over there. If we make another one, that one will shatter. They will be destroyed in the order in which you created them. So there we go. We can now climb up here. Is there something else we can do in here? Oh, there's a... There's a chest here. I didn't notice. Climb up here, open the chest. What's in the box? Traveler Spear. My inventory's full. Of course it is. Stop that. Traveler Spear. Huh. I suppose I don't need this torch right now. There we go. Run over here. Jump up this. And come up here to our final monk. He's got the Triforce of Courage, I think. That makes 4. Load some extra stuff here, I think. The heck did you glide down from? With this, you have now acquired all of the Spirit Orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh ho ho! Extraordinary! That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first... Imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines connecting the shrines would cross. There, I will be waiting. Interesting. So, if we look at our map, you can see there's a line, and there's a line. And the place where those 2 intersect is the Temple of Time. So, we gotta make our way down the mountain to the Temple of Time. I don't want to bother those dudes. However, I do want to get the chest out of this water here. So if we do one of those, boink, and we do one of these. Should be able to jump to that, right? Get out of the water! Get out of the water! This ice also isn't slippery, so no need to worry about that. Grab ourselves an opal. I need health. This is the last one I made, so this one's safe. Across. Up across. And on the shore. Oh, go away. You losers. This may have been a bad idea. Go back. Is there a safe place I can climb down from? Maybe here? Seems safe enough here. Whoop. Okay. We're sliding. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Can I get that arrow back? Yes, I can. Oh, we got ice keys. Ice keys are a bit of a different breed. A rare ice key swing. Its frozen surface gleams attractively, but its usefulness isn't readily apparent. Why are there always bags at my feet when I'm recording? Something I want to know. Anyway. Now come over here. This is the way you're Oops. This is the way you're supposed to come up the mountain. I just did it backwards. Also, this log. This freaking log. Get some magnesis up in here. Whoop. Come on, get out of the water. There we go. That should work. This is probably one of the harder Koroks to get to because of where it is. Alrighty. So, log, get up here again. Over here, grab this, lift it up, bring it back over here. Whoa. Let's not crush ourselves with this thing. Bring it back over here. Hop. Can I reach that? Yes, I can. This over. Whoa, careful. There we go. There we go. Get some more ancient materials here while we're at it. Ancient gear. A gear used in ancient machinery. Despite being incredibly old, its build quality is leaps and bounds above anything built using current technology. Interesting. Also, you can tell when there's frozen water if you stand and look at the water. You see those little sparkles in it? That means it's freezing. And you don't want to be taking a dip in that. Uh-oh. These are ice chews. White choo-choo jelly. A jiggly substance that came from an ice choo-choo. It's cool to the touch, and squeezing it seems to relieve stress. If struck, it will explode in a cold mist. Yeah, so be careful with that stuff. It can and will freeze you if you're not careful with it. Anyway, let's get out a sword. Walk along the shoreline. Because I can. There's a quicker way to do this, but... Also, there's a burnt-out campfire there. We're not messing with the chews. No choo-choos today, please. I think this is meant here to be like... Hey, if you're careful, you could theoretically make it... Is that a knot? Or is that... Yeah, it's a knot. Thought that might have been something stuck to the tree there. You can also use that to get across the river, I guess. If you've got a Korok leaf. Another one of these things. Another ancient spring. Some wood. There's a korok leaf in case we want to take the boat. There's a cooking pot here too. And more importantly, if we come down here, it'll stop being cold, first of all. I think in this area, yeah, right here at the entrance, you can find spicy peppers. Anyway, let's run down to the Temple of Time here. Now, one thing that sets this Temple of Time apart from the Temple of Time from Ocarina or Twilight Princess. I have that. Thank you. Is the fact that this one contains statue of the goddess from Skyward Sword. We have to visit this one first before we can do anything else. If we pray here, we have the ability to use our Spirit Orbs in groups of 4 to give ourselves a heart container or a stamina vessel. I'm going to go for the stamina vessel because the stamina vessel means I can do more. Stamina vessel. The size of your stamina wheel has been increased, allowing you to perform more actions before getting tired. There we go. I hear you. The blessings of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly. Yeah, yep. So, you can be a doofus and climb the side of the building, I guess. Or, if you're smart, you'll look around for this ladder. This ladder makes things infinitely easier to climb because climbing a ladder does not take stamina. Jumping up a ladder does, but climbing a ladder does not. So let's climb up the collapsed roof of the Temple of Time and make our way over to the old man, who is going to have a bit of a cutscene for us. Now we can hear his full voice.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, bravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here is the paraglider, just as I promised. Paraglider, an item that you receive from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Main quest, destroy Ganon. Main quest, seek out Impa. The destroy Ganon mini quest, or main quest, will not be completed until the final battle is over. But, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this episode. I'm going to grab this soldier's bow and say, next time on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we'll be leaving the Great Plateau and heading out east for Kakariko Village. Gee, this seems familiar. Till then, this is N520, signing out.